TV, day after the 4th. You know what I mean? Hopefully everybody had a good 4th, chill with family. You know what I mean? If you got street family, you consider them family. You know what I mean? Hopefully everything all good. You know? I just dropped my red edition with the Scullies. Go on my YouTube channel and check out the post, man. You know what I mean? Just dropped the red editions for this month of the Tribe Culture TV Scullies. You know we got the rain, you know what I mean? Coat, you know what I mean, in case of rain. You don't want to wear a real big major coat, you just want to wear something simple. You know what I mean? Might be a little windy out. You know what I mean? Snatch you up. You know what I mean? These in black. We will be displaying the white ones real soon. But you go on my Instagram, my other social media, and check out and just take a look at photos and videos. I see that boy Math Hoffa starting back to doing videos, trying to make a comeback for it. I've been reading some of the comments. Some comments say he really was missed. You know, it go both ways. Then you have the ones who feel like, you know, oh man, he can't carry a show. The other guest was more entertaining than him. You know, so we'll see how it play out. For the 4th, man, I really just chilled my normal fireworks, you know what I mean? Just like everybody else. I ain't do no barbecue. I ain't really do nothing too much special or nothing like that. You know, nothing too crazy. Just really just vibed out and chilled, you know? I don't drink, so I ain't gonna have a drink. You know, like I said, really just chilled and vibed out. Smoked me a little something, got my thoughts together, and did a little internet surfing. You know, checked out some things. You know what I mean? I gotta make my all arounds, whether it's Alina, what it do? Why you leaving, my what's up? What's up? Talk to me. I'll talk back. Where you from? Tell me where you from. What you got going on? How was your 4th of July? I don't know from the okay. And my boy, he put the emoji up there on where he from. That's what I like. I like proud people who proud of who they are, man. Don't matter what religion, race, and what you is, man. Be proud, man, and represent it, man. You know what I mean? And he said, what's good, my brother? Yes, we are brothers. You know what I mean? Race don't define brotherhood, dog. You know what I mean? Hopefully you had, how was your 4th, man? What you do, man? Did you kick it with the family? You know what I mean? How things are with you? Hopefully y'all good. I like good energy, positive good energy, man. You know what I mean? take you a long way. Me, woke up, good energy, you know what I mean, got some ideas and some things that I had to wake up and process, you know what I mean, and my dog said, kick back with the family, now rolling up. Well, look, you know when I'm rolling up, you supposed to be rolling up with me so we can, you know, we can blow some doja together, bruh. You know, when from here on out, dog, when you know you coming on here, you already got to have you one prepared. That way we can, you know, blow together, dog. You know what I mean? This is our relaxed time, bro. We on man time, you feel me? You know, this is our relaxed time. You know what I mean? Been vibing with the family. You know what I mean? When stuff start to settle down, you go ahead and roll them up, tuck your Bob Marley for later on. And when things really settle down, put on some Sade, Cherish Today, or put on any type of music you like and relax, dog, and get your mind right. So it's definitely good vibes with my homie right here, for sure. Sometimes, man, energy is everything, man. You know? My dog say, hey, say less, 100. Right. Right. And sometimes it be taking little words like, see how me and him vibing? You would think that we was in a bikers club and ran a business together, because energy is everything, man. Sometimes a person might just need good energy as a booster, just to, you know what I mean, add on to a little extra positivity in their day. My dog say he gonna get his mind right. You know what I mean? We're gonna let him prepare to get his mind right, and we're gonna go from there. Remember, like I say, man, if it's your first time meeting me, go on Instagram under G Rio, Facebook G Rio, man. Like I say, check out some merch. Look at my YouTube shorts, man. Get to learn me, vibe with me, and grow with me. You know what I mean? Let's grow together. I was just listening to that Lil Yachty and 2 Chainz song called Sister Wives. I ain't gonna lie, that 2 Chainz, he snapped. I ain't gonna lie, I gotta give it to him. He snapped, he did his thing on there. You know what I mean? And the beat go crazy. I ain't gonna cap, the beat go crazy. The beat go crazy. The beat go crazy. So talk to me. Who that? TC. What's good, gang? You already know what's good. Tapping in with my people out there, you know what I mean? Gotta see how the community good. Gotta see where everybody at mentally. Making sure we stay stable. And not letting the devil try to intervene and cause us thoughts to try to make us crash out. We're gonna get our mind right. We're gonna grow together. We're gonna make it happen. Girlie, what's up? What's up, sweetheart? Hopefully you chilling out there. Hopefully you having a good day. I want you to have a good day, you know what I mean? And we're gonna stay away from people who don't want anybody that's on my live to have a good day. It's the next day of the 4th. You know what I mean? If you didn't get fireworks, hopefully you seen somewhere where fireworks was popped at. You pulled out a fold-up chair and got you a nice view. You and the kids, and took pictures, and everybody was happy. Hey, hot dogs, chips, whatever it is that you could provide, that, you know, as long as everybody enjoyed themselves and was safe and had a good time. and then end up like 4 Extra. I seen what 4 Extra. If y'all don't know who that is, he a nigga from Cali who always saying, you know, he Crip, he let it be well known, he always screaming Vernon Avenue, but I seen he got his hand blown off messing with them M80s. Man, we got to be careful out there, man, for real. We really do. Got to be careful. Me, I'm more of a, I'll pay someone to light all the fireworks up. I'm just in the chair, I'm rolling up, I'm you know, kicking it, laughing, got people laughing. You know what I mean? I ain't really the type to really just be lighting up the fireworks, you know what I mean? We'll have somebody else take care of that part. TC been the laughing emoji, right? You know what I mean? We gotta play it safe. I'm a Scorpio. I'm gonna keep it real. We very cautious, you know what I mean? Some people just think that we just crazy and all of that shit. No, we very cautious type of, you know what I mean, people, you know what I mean? If we feel some shit ain't right, we gonna fall back, you know what I mean, for real. I'm gonna be real with you. So far with this internet thing, man, if we all remember Cat Williams' interview on Club Shay Shay, boy, he was saying about how this year's the year of exposure. Dang, I ain't gonna lie, boy, it seems like it's a domino effect for real. A lot has been going on the internet. Now, yes, you can't believe everything on the internet. We already know that. Everybody know that, you know what I mean? That's just damn near like when they say Google somebody's net worth. You know what I mean? That shit don't be accurate. It's just speculation, you know what I mean? But it's a lot been going on. And one thing about that spotlight, it could be good and it could be bad. You know what I mean? It's all on how you go about it, for real. LeBron James, he done signed for a year. They say for $52 million. Now, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Ohio, no, it's a soft spot in my heart. I rock with Ohio, you know what I mean? You feel me? Forever, it's for life. 216-440, all of that, you know what I mean? Euclid everywhere. But if my dog don't bust a move this year, bro, he gotta get out of the way, bro. I mean, it's time to fall back. I mean, we all got some form of a game that we love, whether it's basketball, hustling, shooting dice. But when it's something you love, sometimes you gotta let it go and chill. You know what I mean? So if he don't get it done this year, I said this 2 years ago too. If he don't get it done this year, bro, we gotta tell him. Remember, I would just say, if you go on my page, I was just talking about accountability. We gotta hold LB accountable, dog, and let them know, bro, it's time to fall back. You got other guys now, and Luca over there, and it's like, let them do their own thing, and it's just trying to chill now. You papered up, you know what I mean? You got a sports agency, you still got a whole lifetime to go. But you best believe when they tell them to go, they're gonna tell them to take Bronny with them, though. Like, hey, look, man, you know, we mess with your LB, but, you know, he got to go with you, dog. You know what I mean? So, hey, it is what it is. I told myself I was going to work out today, but I said, you know what? I'll get to that tomorrow. I'll at least try to do something every other day. You know what I mean? Cardio, jump rope, even basketball, you know what I mean? Something that makes you sweat, you know what I mean? And be active and stuff like that, or whatever. Today I want to talk about relationships, like, you know what I mean, as far as on like, if you're in a relationship with someone, how long is enough before enough is enough? You know what I mean? And hopefully I said that kind of slow for y'all so somebody can understand, but like, our relationships beneficial these days? You know what I mean? Like, we let so much from outside our household distract our relationships that it's really hard to have a relationship, especially if you and your partner is not seeing eye to eye. They dealing with or friends with somebody who it may seem like in their relationship they seeing eye to eye, and then she dragged the view of their relationship on y'all relationship, and y'all talking, and then she say, for example, like, well, how come Carlos and Tisha don't got to go through that or whatever, you know? But you don't know what's going on with other relationships behind closed doors. You know what I mean? I wonder if people even value relationships anymore. You know what I mean? I remember they used to say Barrett. That's how you know I be blowing that smoke. Marriage is a business move. Relationships is a business move too. For real. You got two people who had started out genuine, and now it's to the point where both of them done made each other so uncomfortable that they wonder if they could survive without each other. As far as it ain't that they feel they can't, it's the feeling of the cushion of, you know, damn, you know, we was busting everything down, or he was paying the rent, I was paying the utilities, or you know, it's a person get the, that's why I said the business part, because it's like a person get to thinking like, damn, you know what I mean, they get a little accustomed to that cushion, you know what I mean, no matter through the ups and downs and the arguments, because they're expecting you to be responsible and have your half or whatever y'all agree to, you know what I mean? So, you know, do some people feel a relationship is a relationship, or it's more of a partnership? Yes, if both of y'all growing together and y'all supposed to be growing together and got dreams and goals and y'all want to head towards something, you know what I mean? Yes, it should be one hand wash the other. You know what I mean? It don't matter how big or small you play your part, you know what I mean? You know, but definitely as a man, you definitely should lead, you know what I mean? So, everything's so material now, you know what I mean? It's kind of like the "what have you done for me lately" syndrome is taking effect. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, hey, how you doing is basically the word cash app or chime or you know what I mean? I'm not saying there's not no genuine people out there. There's still genuine people. It depends what you're looking for. You know what I mean? But it's still solid people out there who is on the same thing you on. You just got to put yourself in position to run into them. You know what I mean? Every woman don't want nothing, and every man don't want nothing. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's still some genuine people out there who just want the simple things. Who, like, I see it. I see it on a daily basis. It's still women out there who appreciate they do who just working. You know what I mean? He come home, he got a little man cave. You know what I mean? He might smoke his little doja, you know what I mean? Chill. You know what I mean? He may have one or two homeboys, and she respect that, give him space. Then you have the women who the man knows, you know, they got sister friends and type shit and bonds and vibes, and he let her have her space, and it keeps the tension down, and it keeps things good between them because they got a very good understanding. You know what I mean? It's not good to meet somebody who cuts down all of that. Like, okay, if you was a social butterfly before we met, and then you may have a trust issue that you're not fully telling the guy, and then you cut your social life down to watch the guy and see what the guy got going on because of some things you went through, then that's bad, because it makes the guy look bad before he even met your side of the fence, because it's gonna look like I made you change. You know what I mean? In reality, you should keep doing what you was doing. Not saying if you was loose as hell, but like if you kicked it with your people and y'all had line dance night on Thursdays, you continue to keep doing that. You know what I mean? Now, if you want to invite that person you met, and you know what I mean, that's cool, but keep your routine going. You know what I mean? Keep your routine going. That's for both sides of the fence. You know what I mean? Male and female. You know, space is very important, but I'm not saying too much space. But space is very important because it'd be a lot of tension going on in the crib, or just tension period, because people don't know how to know or catch that energy. Like, you know, let me go work out, let me go do this, man. Am I gaming too much? Am I doing hair too much? Am I at a barbershop too much? You know what I mean? Yes, the grind is very important. We all know nowadays, man, money don't fall from the sky. You know what I mean? So you got to have other avenues. You know what I mean? Like literally, you got to be selling watches, rib sandwiches, goddamn hey hallelujah signs at church. I don't know. You got to be doing something nowadays. You know what I mean? Because it don't even sound right now if you just meet somebody. They like, I work at ass cheek land. You know what I mean? And then you be like, damn, that's all you do. You just work at ass cheek land. You don't lease oil or ass. You know what I mean? No diddy. You know what I mean? You know, no diddy. But you know, just you got to be doing something. You know what I mean? Versus you just saying you just got one thing going. You know what I mean? It shows that you're at least trying, that you got vision. You know what I mean? That, you know, hopefully one day, you know, it really pick up and get to moving. You know? So, both parties really got to have ambition. Look, TC said facts. You know what I mean? And you got to have somebody who understands your character. Like, if you in a certain business, that's just like, for example, like if you, the loud man, you know what I mean? The loud man and the pure man go hand in hand. You're going to have a lot of opposite sex people you deal with as far as females, you know what I mean, or whoever. You got to have somebody who very understanding that, you know what I mean, who gets you to be like, just because somebody being kind to somebody, that don't mean you trying to do something with them. Now, it's on the individual to fall for the temptation. You know what I mean? That's just like if it's a woman, she do dreads, or she, even it's women who sell a little bud. You know, they know, women know, man. They know if they really wanted to take it further, this nigga a bite. But she know it's on her, so she has that control. You know what I mean? It goes both ways. You know what I mean? So I think the best way to nowadays damn near survive a relationship is started off, I used to would say friendship, but now we can't even just go by energy, man, and vibe. And if y'all just vibing, just whatever the vibe is that y'all like, just try your best to keep that vibe going. You know what I mean? Because it's like, nowadays, you know, you and a person could be friends and y'all try something and it be done ruined everything, and now y'all ain't even friends no more. You know what I mean? So that's why I say that ain't even safe to say. You know what I mean? Just try your best to go by vibe and energy, man, and take it from there, and don't rush nothing, you know what I mean? And don't try to change each other. Respect each other, but don't try to change each other. You know what I mean? That's it's two different things, you know what I mean? And don't ever force someone to change. You know what I mean? If a person really feeling you, man, they'll know how to come at you. They might tell themselves, you know, what I was just doing in my last situation, I'm not even going to attempt to do that in my new situation. You know what I mean? Because they respect you. You know what I mean? Somebody who don't respect you, they gonna keep moving disrespectfully, meaning like shaking ass. Like, this don't just apply for women, because shaking ass can be for men too, but you just shaking ass in the streets, you loose as hell. You got no respect on what you doing. You don't care if it get back to the person. You just are everywhere. You on 80 different bitches pages. You a female, you on 80 different nigga pages. You know what I mean? Yes, it's a lot of different ways of getting money now. You got OnlyFans, you got all type of shit going on now. And you really gotta have somebody who understands you to really make things happen. You know what I mean? A lot of people get in situations with people who don't understand them. You know what I mean? How you gonna meet a nigga and then you wait to tell him maybe a little bit later on, like not right away, but you know, you just, you know what I mean? Yeah, I got an OnlyFans, you know what I mean? And you know, he might done got his feelings involved. He don't know how to take that, you know what I mean? Some dudes ain't kind of easy going like me. I'm more of an understanding person, like, you know what I mean? If anything, I'll support it. I even film the video for you, pictures, all of that shit, you know what I mean? Because it's different types of sexual shit that men and women like on this shit. Some motherfuckers feet lovers. There's all type of different stuff going on there. You know what I mean? But everybody can't handle that. You know what I mean? You got to be built a certain way to be able to handle that and know, man, look, man, this is my chick. I ain't tripping, you know what I mean? You know, you ain't gonna tolerate no blatantly disrespect, but you gotta understand business. And a lot of us gotta get with somebody who understand the business side of things. You know what I mean? Sometimes, that's why I said relationships now, you know what I mean? Nowadays, it's, what is it now? Is it a business or a relationship? Because sometimes the relationship ends on because of business, you know what I mean? It's too much business going on. And then the business might involve both parties where the fantasy hype it up. See, it start good when y'all both, you know what I mean, chasing that one common goal. But then it comes to a point where now, for this specific business meeting, you know, this person got to go solo. You know what I mean? And this person got to stay back and hold the fort down. And now the word temptation comes into play. You know what I mean? There's separation and all type of shit that you see on the Tyler Perry movies. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about out there. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, Scott is creeping on in. System helping out. What you mean? You got to explain that. Okay, since you helping out, do you expect they cut from the OF off the rip? What that mean? I don't listen. I feel like people who expect something from somebody, just in general, it don't matter what it is. You somebody who you don't really got it for real. Like when you really got it for real, you not. When you giving somebody something, you're not expecting it back. Now, what will shock you if the person called you, you'll be like, hey, where you at? You know, I got this for you. But, you know, other than that, I go by a routine where it's kind of like you just, I mean, if you're doing something, you're just doing it out of the kindness, you know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? You just doing it. It ain't even that they gaming you or they cried and broke down to you, you know what I mean? But you don't look for nothing in return, though, you know what I mean? Now, if somebody give you something in return, that's cool. But if you doing it, you just doing it. Like, I ain't looking for nothing in return. It's kind of like how my view is when I tell you, if you get merch from me, it's like, ain't nobody forcing somebody to do nothing. You know what I mean? I don't know how other people move. I'm just speaking how I move, like a person not forcing somebody to do anything. You know what I mean? But if you want to do it, it's cool. You know what I mean? I'm the type of person, I give you the hat, the shirt, and everything, and then tell you, you know, just give me the money when you got it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but everybody don't move like that. But I know how I move, you know what I mean? And I just know, you know, I'm not expecting for somebody to be like how I am. That's just not realistic, you know what I mean? And that's the problems too, why we bump heads with a lot of people too, because we all have these expectations where we be expecting somebody to be like how we is. Like, you'll hear somebody say, like I hear people talking about Dame and Jay-Z situation, like they be like, if I had 2.5 billion, man, what is it to give Dame 8-10 billion, man? You helped Wayne out of taxes, you did this, you did that. You be with that Meek Mill stuff, well, I forgot what they be talking about, some getting people out of jail with the one white dude who used to be with the Sixers, I forgot his name, but you know, but what everybody fail to realize is this your mind and what you say, and it's just really an opinion. You can't tell somebody what to do with their bread because that's something you feel you should do, or tell a person how to go about a situation a certain way because that's how you would go about it. You gotta let them go about it the way they go about it. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, for real, it's just better to fall back and like stay in your lane. You know what I mean? And if somebody invite you in their lane, then that's cool. You know what I mean? But if they ain't invite you in your lane, don't invite yourself in their lane. You know what I mean? A lot of social media outlets is only picking up stuff to create an algorithm because the individual is allowing it. You know what I mean? We're living in a time now where like people is going live and then killing their lover on live, or jumping off a building going live. You know what I mean? It's the attention part that a person feel they're not getting it, so they gotta go about it in a crazy way. You know what I mean? Some better than others. You know. Me personally, if you can avoid something, avoid it. You know what I mean? But sometimes the devil work through people too. You know what I mean? So sometimes you got to get tested, and it's on you how you react to it. You know what I mean? So we all got to remember, each day we wake up is a day of new beginnings for real, because you don't know how your day gonna play out. Why you think when people get in car accidents and then as soon as they jump out, they ready to get gangsta on the other person who thought it was, they be like, this was not how my day supposed to play out. I was just going to work and then I was gonna go pick my kids up, then grab them food and go back. You know what I mean? So when we wake up, first thing you really should do is like, thank God. You know what I mean? Thank God. You know what I mean? And if you're an atheist, it's very strange because it's like, you got people out there who really looking at it like, I diet, I eat right, I walk 5 miles a day, I got the best nutrition, that's why they staying alive. It's really, people like that is just crazy. I try not to even deal with people like that because it's very weird that you really think because you work out and you drink water and you don't eat pork and all of that, that's why you wake up. Like, God don't got nothing to do with that. Like, you just on this earth because of you just a fitness guru or something. You know what I mean? No, that's definitely not true. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not a holy roller. I don't claim no religion or nothing like that. I just believe in God. You know what I mean? And I know it's for real. You know what I mean? I don't got to be convinced it's not, you know. But we just got to recognize and take accountability, like I posted on my YouTube page. When I said keyword of the day, go on my post and hit the like button and comment and interact with me and let me know what y'all feel. You know what I mean? Accountability, we all got to do better with accountability. You know what I mean? If you on the streets right now and you going through it and you going live, you know what I mean? At some point, dog, you got to at least keep it real with yourself and your fans. And come on, man, the sympathy bud can only go so far, bro. What is you gonna do to clear your situation up? You been sitting by this same soda machine vending can that don't even work no more, bro. Posted up. You ain't gonna try. You and your dog, you ain't gonna try to make nothing better. You just gonna forward like and submit and just, that's it. But you keep your phone on, you go live, and you got people who really just empathizing with you, but you're not trying to make your situation better. That's like somebody standing by a trash can going live for 3 months or something. Okay, if you've been watching them that long, okay, now you 9 months in, you ain't gonna at least write on the damn thing on the page, be like, damn, bro, you've been going live by that dumpster, bro, 3 months, bro. I mean, you know, I've been watching you for 9 months. You ain't made no progress. You know what I mean? Like, what is you, you know, I don't know, man. I just believe in, like, you supposed to make progress, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I ain't gonna go live every day I ain't gonna show everything I do every day. You know what I mean? It's a time and place for certain things. You know what I mean? But I'm at least be making some form of progress in my off time, whether it's merch or something positive going on. You know what I mean? I'm not on here for a sympathy campaign. You know what I mean? Yes, we all gotta tighten up, but we do gotta take accountability though. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So hey, let's do better. You know what I mean? Even me, you know. But like I say, what is it now? Is it a relationship or is it business now? You know what I mean? And like I said, this ain't for everybody. You do got good women out there. You still got good dudes out there. You know what I mean? Is the percentage high? Maybe, maybe not. It ain't on me. But I know you can still meet people who you really want to meet. You just got to position yourself. It ain't over. You know what I mean? Just because you had 4 or 5 bad run-ins with people inside of a sports bar, that don't mean it's over. You know what I mean? You just got to switch your scenery up. Now, you might not be a jazz lover. Maybe you might need to start getting into some Coldplay. I don't know, something. You know what I mean? Switch it up. You know what I mean? And even if you're a woman, you know what I mean? I know you might be used to a certain routine pattern or type of guys. Sometimes it's okay to just jump out the box with this guy who just do plumbing. And he really just don't really do much else. He got family he messed with, but he don't do nothing to the point where you got to be worried if he gonna make it home at night or where he at. You know what I mean? So it's still a certain crowd for each and every person to meet out there. You know what I mean? People choosing to settle for people they see. Like I say this, Instagram is for the wannabe entertainment world. Facebook for the streets. You know what I mean? If I had to take my chance on meeting anybody through any social media platform, I'd rather take my chances with Facebook. You know what I mean? Instagram is the situation where when each person go to each other's house, you know what I mean, for the first time, and y'all see like, damn, you know, you really ain't living like what you putting out there type shit. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with Facebook because that's more of my tax bracket and more of my, it's more realer. It's, you know what I mean? And take it and take my chances over there. You know what I mean? So we just gotta really know and understand when we meet somebody. You know what I mean? What direction they can see themselves going, and you know what I mean? And maybe they got a direction they going. A lot of us is laying down with people and we don't even know which direction each person is going. You know what I mean? Y'all just know y'all just came back from out to eat from Benny Hunters or some 5-star joint where the steak was $300 or something like that, and you know what I mean? Enjoy them moments, that's it. But nobody really know where nobody's head is, and you know what I mean? Where they really going or where they really see themselves, you know what I mean? We just caught up in the moment, you know what I mean? And sometimes a moment might not, it's called a moment for a reason. Moments don't last, you know what I mean? So it's like, we gotta take accountability and we gotta grow, you know what I mean? Back in the day, they used to say unity and community, but it's a lot of, you know, hey man, I and team, you know what I mean? And not just for women, I'm not being specific on no gender, you know what I mean? We just having a conversation, you know what I mean? Just keeping it real, just talking, you know, but other than that, man, you know, most importantly, they just find each other, you know what I mean? And move from there, you know, for sure. Now, I know one thing that I do want to speak on is they say Diddy got some charges dropped, but what people fail to realize is this. Like I told somebody, when y'all be seeing these blogs, right, and they be posting stuff, oh, he just went to court or he just did this. Listen, I got in a situation with the feds before. The state and the feds is different, dog. You don't go to court like that, bro. It's not like that, dog. Like, trust me, it's dudes in there you will be sitting minimum 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, and some dudes, if you pull a Blue Da Vinci or something like that, you know what I mean? And take responsibility. However it go, you might can get out of there within 18 months or something, but a lot of times you sitting for real because they don't even like to give bonds. They even put it in there where like they feel like if you sit, that will make you want to crack even more to agree to a deal. So you're not going to court like that. So all these blogs, they just be making up stuff. You don't you don't go to court like that, dog. You know what I mean? So he got the RICO and all that drop. Yeah, that's all cool, you know what I mean? But he do still got them blips that they found in the crib that had the serial numbers filed off. You know what I mean? So with the feds, yes, he ain't facing life no more what he facing, you know what I mean? But he gonna do about a 5 to 10, you know what I mean? And still come home and move on to be successful, you know what I mean? Just because of this smear that don't mean he's not gonna be successful no more, or still, you know what I mean? People do anything for money, you know what I mean? You got a bag, even a person who just stood on business at a podium at a church and say he'll never film with him and get a call in 48 hours later, and next thing you know, nigga dude offer you 350,000 cash. You know what I mean? You what happened? You ain't standing on business no more. You done Lord Jamar this now. Now you put on Lord Jamar because everybody mad at Lord Jamar because they felt like he told Godfrey that he would be the one to crack to go back, and look, he ended up going over to Vlad. You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is. Me, I don't put my all into believing into any of these want to be quote unquote celebrities. You know what I mean? So when they make certain moves, it don't even shock me. I stay in my own lane. But one thing I do know is even if you got a bag already for another bag or a bigger bag, you're going to do it. And then you're going to make an excuse in the end and say, I'm a grown man or I'm a grown woman. I'm going to do what I want to do anyway. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. Just accept it, move on, and laugh about it. You know what I mean? One thing I will say though, I randomly came across a Kevin Samuels video, and I don't know. I don't think he really was appreciated like that when he was here. You know what I mean? Like, dude came off with certain women like, dude, are you bitter? Why it seem like you attacking women? Woo, woo, woo. But at the end of the day, a lot of stuff that he was saying, man, was facts, man. You know what I mean? Like, you know, men, we got high standard, but women, some women, not all, do have a higher standard. And some points he was valid on, you know what I mean? Like, because, and this going, the reason I'm talking about this, because this go with a lot of women out there who meet good dudes, you know what I mean? And shit like that. Not saying that all women are bad, I'm just saying, there's some good dudes out there, you know what I mean? And for a dude to come in, you know what I mean? And you got 3 kids or 4 kids or 5 kids, and you know what I mean, and they trying, you know what I mean, and you ain't being respectful and the kids being disrespectful. I don't know, man, it ain't gonna end well. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna end well. You know what I mean? I think what it is now, man, I really think like if both parties got their own crib, it's just better that y'all just don't live with each other for a while. Not no 6 months, like not just a year, but like for a while, because you know what I mean, I would rather both parties walk away with a misunderstanding, but both people still having a place to live versus, you know, somebody making a decision on who gonna go all in and move in with somebody or whatever the fuck. You know, if both parties got their own crib, man, the moment somebody start getting on somebody's nerves, somebody can go home. And then I feel like if both parties got their own crib, it'd be less crazy shit said to each other as far as if y'all had disagreements, because both parties know that either one could go home. So it's like you'll be cautious what you say versus y'all both live together, y'all under one roof, kind of like stuck, and y'all both just saying a bunch of atrocious ass shit to each other. Me personally, just stay single. And I know some people say, well, you just saying that because you scared of commitment. Nah, it ain't about being scared of commitment. It's just better that way. You know what I mean? My dog TC said, I ain't never think of it like that. A lot of times, security is not just meant for one person in the situation. Security is meant for both parties. Like, check this out. For example, I seen a nigga go live and shit, and the nigga was talking about a situation about how he pay all the bills. He a felon. He can't get a spot in his name, so the spot in his bitch name, excuse me, his girl name, because I do got like relatives who watch it, so I'm sorry. The spot in his girl name, the lease in a couple months. This girl got a job opportunity. She took the job opportunity for more money. She go ahead and make the move to go down there. He had the spot to himself, but he got to be out of there by a certain time. But most people, but he also made a comment. He felt like, well, when you know you got this opportunity, when we leaving? And it was more like, well, no, you got to stay here and finish the lease. I'm going to go on and go down there. I could tell by the look in his eye that hurt him, you know what I mean? Because a nigga feel like, well, you was working at such and such, and I'm paying all the bills, and you basically just doing whatever with your money. You know what I mean? My point of bringing this up is not to put somebody's business out there, because I ain't saying no name, but the point is this. Y'all in a relationship. You get a job that requires you to move. You take that option. He hit you with like, well, I'm coming. And you like, well, nah. I don't know how I would feel about that. You know what I mean? Like, I had an old school person say that's the prime example of paying bills somewhere. You're not on the lease. You know what I mean? You ain't, I mean, y'all got a kid together. It's on the value you hold, you know what I mean? But the point of me saying that is this, like, sometimes you can be so caught up in trying to make somebody else, look out for somebody else, that you lose focus of yourself, and then it don't hit you until the last minute. Some unexpected shit pop off. You've been so caring and open to what others need to the point that you ain't paying attention to yourself, and then you don't want to realize you're drowning till you've already drowned. You know? Sometimes, man, when you hear a person say, like, if they like had a issue in their relationship, and then you see them like rekindling, and they be like, man, I love you more than me. Sometimes that ain't always no good thing, because me and you seen is downsides of that. It could be death, it could be suicide, it could be just not always a positive situation. You know what I mean? Because you could tell by his body language. You know what I mean? He like, I'm finna experience something that I'm basically used to having my partner. You know what I mean? And see, a lot of men, I'm gonna keep it real, a lot of us men out there in the world, we ain't been battle tested. See, I've been battle tested. We ain't been as far as where you raising the kids solo dolo. Like, me and my son mother, we on good terms now, but like, where it's solely you, like how would a woman go through, like how she be saying, like when you hear women, niggas ain't shit and all that, just be really put it out there because they see that, you know, a dude being irresponsible. You all on Facebook, car shows, you shining, you jeweled up, you flossing, you in a strip club, you throwing money, you know what I mean? But you ain't handling your business privately. So they have a little resentment towards you and anger. You know what I mean? I done been on that side of the fence as far as where it's just strictly me. You know what I mean? It's very important nowadays when people meet each other that patience is everything, and it ain't meant for the person you meet or exchange numbers with to understand your patience. Cause I done been in situations where I done had a female tell me I ain't used to dudes like you, as far as they used to somebody who being all on him. He like the dog with the pink thing hanging out. He horny all the time. Me, um, you know what I mean? I don't mean to sound a little crazy, but you know when you done, you know, been around, you know what I mean? You done had a lot of women, you know what I mean? Certain things really don't amaze you, you know what I mean? I can be respectful, but it ain't finna move me, you know what I mean? So some people don't understand that, you know what I mean? But that's what it goes back when I was telling you earlier in the video when I say sometimes you might have to go out your routine and meet somebody who a little different, because maybe the peace that you need in your life that they can bring to you, you know what I mean? A lot of us be avoiding those type people. You know what I mean? That's why I was saying in one of my shorts on my YouTube that if you really care about somebody, like if a person really your friend or whatever it is, and you really want good for them, do you really keep it real with them and tell them when they wrong and all of that stuff? You know what I mean? That's very important, man. Accountability. That's what I was saying. Accountability. You know what I mean? I would rather have somebody who I'm dealing with or around me who is holding me accountable. Okay, yeah, we in a bar. I started it. I was wrong. But when we get outside in the parking lot in the car, look, you could have went about that a whole different way. You know what I mean? Luckily, we made it out. But, you know, we can't be putting ourselves in situations like that no more. You know what I mean? And that's just how it is with this YouTube stuff. You know what I mean? We see all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Just because the way you don't like to hear something, that don't mean you can't hold yourself accountable. You know what I mean? To certain people, certain stuff sound crazy. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of dudes out there who got a lot of kids. I be calling dudes who I know who be having like 7, 8 kids, 9, 10 kids, man. I'm like, you a serial breeder. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, bro, like it probably ain't even, you ain't even, once you get to be having like 8, 9, 10 kids, it ain't even, you ain't even having, it ain't even fun to you. You just having sex, what they call it. It ain't even exciting, dog. You know what I mean? You just doing it just to be doing it because you're a nympho. You know what I mean? Like, things be unbelievable, man. It really do. But getting back to what I was saying, though, what is relationships nowadays? You know what I mean? Is it really love or is it a business partnership? Some people say it's both. You know what I mean? But if it's both, how long will a Aladdin magic carpet ride if it's both? Because, you know, even if you ain't reached the millionaire level, you got millionaires who has started businesses with their partner and they end up being successful, and now they're not together no more. You know what I mean? You got people out there right now, me and my partner get money together, we good. Okay, y'all get money through Uber Eats and doing all of that. It's certain levels of money that don't cause problems, but it's certain kind of money that can cause problems. You know what I mean? Like, if you and your partner doing Uber Eats together, y'all grinding together, he knocking shifts out, you knocking shifts out, and then y'all save up 25,000 and randomly you going to count 16,000 gone. You know what I mean? We'll see where all of that, you know what I mean? We'll see how that ends, you know what I mean? Everybody got to switch, you know what I mean? Nobody perfect, you know what I mean? But my thing is we just got to get a better understanding when we meet each other. You know what I mean? You know, your goals, my goals, you know what I mean? how you see yourself, how I see myself. You know what I mean? And one thing about it, man, we got to have a mercy button. You know what I mean? Just because of you went through something, I shouldn't have to pay for the sins of 4 niggas ago. You told me you was over this shit. You know what I mean, or whatever it is. It's like when two people meet each other, right? If I meet you, I'm supposed to. That's why I told y'all, vibe and energy is everything. I'm wearing this ring. I'm not married. It's just a nugget ring. You know what I mean? I'm not married or nothing like that. I'm just wearing it. But when y'all meet each other, like the moment I approach you, I already know I respect you off the rip. I'm approaching you, the vibe and energy, and you know what I mean? I expect the same thing too. And I'm gonna remember that. You know what I mean? Now as things get to deeper, get to rolling, and now y'all really building and getting to know each other. You know what I mean? Look, TC said facts. When y'all building and getting to know each other, like the problem come in is when people change on each other. Like when you can't change on me, like what made me interested in you was the vibe I felt for you. You know what I mean? And it's like once that get to changing, man, you know what I mean? You know, it'll make a person fall back a little bit, you know what I mean? And look, I'm not speaking one way. This go for men and women too. A woman can say the same thing, you know what I mean? And say, I ain't expect to not have a man who don't got a place to live or who don't got a car or who don't got their own or whatever it is that they may be that they feel that they really don't approve of. It could go both ways, you know what I mean? So I'm not being one way, you know. But this whole thing is really about when we meet each other, who are we really meeting? Like is this like business? Is this we just cuddy buddies? Like what is it? And it's like instead of it turning into being cuddy buddies and then there's never no label and there's no understanding of what is it really, and y'all just going with the flow, and next thing you know, man, and you know, y'all clashing. I hate this nigga, she hate you, and you know what I mean? So it's like we just gotta get a better understanding when two people meet, like what is it really, you know what I mean? And once you really set that out there, now both parties can take it from there and see what it turned into, you know what I mean? You know, so like I told y'all, subscribe, man, you know what I mean? Like, go to my post, man, you know what I mean? And comment, you know what I mean? Interact with me, you know what I mean? If you a smoker, you ain't tell me what you woke up and smoked today, you know what I mean? Me, I ain't gonna cap. I've been, lately, my top flavor been some shit called Coop Junkie. Like, it's been lit, I ain't gonna cap, like. And I've been blowing Doja, whatever you wanna call it. Nigga, I'm like a honorary member, first row ballot, you know what I mean? Like, I've been doing this 25 years plus. You know what I mean? So I know real trees, and I done been all around. You know what I mean? And if you know me, you know. You know what I mean? Damn near law enforcement know. You know what I mean? So now this old, I ain't saying nothing current. But yeah, man, tap in the comments. You know what I mean? Let me know, even if it ain't about no trees. Like, you know what I mean? Just, you know what I mean? I woke up positive mood today. You know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have a good day, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go knock these hours out at work, or, you know what I mean? I'm gonna take the kiddos to get ice cream, or I'm gonna play online, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm gonna start going live, like send me requests, man, you know what I mean? Start chatting and really getting other people's opinions, and you know what I mean? See where they feel about certain situations, you know? And like I said, we try to really bounce around, you know what I mean? We try to touch on real life, you know what I mean? Like I always try to throw something in there, like whether it's about fitness, like, you know, like I told y'all, I slacked off today, but I'm definitely gonna get it in, you know what I mean? With a walk a couple miles, you know what I mean? Throw a little sweat bag on, you know, and a little jump rope, you know what I mean? And tap in, let y'all see a little bit of that, you know, but we definitely want to keep things had a positive mindset. You know what I mean? Fitness, sports, fashion, you know what I mean, and health. You know what I mean? Remember, I always tell you, mental health is very important. Try TV, you know what I mean? Look forward to growing with each other, you know what I mean? And laughing about where we started from to where it ended, you know? So, hold it down. Try Tv83. Go to Instagram, G Rio, you know what I mean? Follow me. Check out hoodies, women apparel, socks, man, tennis skirts, duffel bags, man handbags, man, the works. You gotta understand, you know, give me a little pause because y'all know, you know what I mean? I'm a little bit up off Marley, but stay focused, hold it down. Try Tv83. Check it out.